Hey guys, what's up? I was gonna mention something because there's a flood of entertainment in our world. That's the idea I just came on. I don't know, about yesterday, I guess. And I was thinking I couldn't sleep, so I don't know. My mind was just, had a lot of brain activity, I guess. So, oops. So what was happening is I was remembering these weird stuff about like some TV shows or TV series, whatever I was watching like a long time ago, and stupid stuff like that. I was thinking, man, why am I even thinking of that? This is ridiculous. It just came to me, and then I was saying, how incredibly crazy it is that we have so much entertainment in our world, right? And then I was thinking, does human really need to be entertained that much? Does a person really need to be entertained every single day? Does a man, woman, child need to be entertained so damn much every day? With all these movies, commercials, radio, music, all sorts of stuff, right? Instagram, Facebook, who knows what and what not. And even when you go out, you see, commercial billboards. You see all these, filled up, saturated environment, even with, even traffic signs, because there's so many people and there's so much stuff going on that we have so much visual stimulation that is just, and then the sound stimulation. And then you would think that that's really not necessary, right? Unless we are being entertained and over-entertained for completely different reasons. Maybe there are things that we would remember and be able to recall clearly if our brain was not filled up. Yep. Filled up with all this imagery that is really just junk. Most of it is junk. Total junk. And and that's why I would say, wise men, sages or saints, whatever you want to call them, from religions, but it's not only in religions. Religions can be very fake in many ways, and or falsified. But let's just look at lives at large, and ourselves. When we spend time alone, when we isolate ourselves, go into nature, contemplate, and sometimes just be there in peace, we get these, a lot of us. I'm not saying everybody at every moment, but it's at some point in time, some of us experience these grand ideas, these grand revelations coming to us because we, empty ourselves of all that junk, and we give ourselves or the voice in the old antique memories that belong to all of us, that come from the collective collective consciousness, and then we align with that, and we tap into those memories. But if we're constantly entertained, people drive so insane, stupid in life. My God. So if we're constantly entertained, we're constantly also filled up with all this stuff that it's unnecessary, that is completely, you know, it's not important. It doesn't matter. It is just basically to fill up our space, very valuable space for really amazing ideas and really, I would say, crazy, like design creators' ideas. We don't have those because we don't give them space. There's no space in this trash can. Like that's an actual, or recycle bin. You know how when in the computer when you have a recycle bin and you don't empty it, and you just keep throwing things in, and you think like, oh, why is computer still so slow? Well, because it's not actually, it's not empty. You're not emptying the computer of junk. You're just putting it in that bin, which is a part of that computer, and it stores it in there in case you change your mind and go back in it and try to restore some of those files. And what does that do? You putting them in there is just, you're designating them to be disposed of at some point, but not at the time when you throw them away, that they're gone. They're not gone. They're still in there, and they're still occupying the memory of the computer. So it's basically the same thing with us. We watch these things and we are entertained every single day. A lot of people seek entertainment all day long. They want to be entertained all day long. They want to see some shows, TV, TV series, movies, whatever, commercials. It's so entertaining. Why to spend some time on your own and alone when you can be entertained all day long? And now you have these, now we have these phones. I mean, we can't get away from the entertainment. Even if we wanted to. I mean, seriously, look. I mean, back in the days when I was growing up, we didn't have phones. When you were outside, you were outside. Like, whatever was happening on TV or, inside the TV, you didn't know about it. The news, you didn't know about them unless somebody told you who was watching TV or just watched TV or just listening to a radio station. All right? Other than that, as soon as I stepped away from the TV and the radio, a lot of you remember those times, you had no idea what's going on in the world except for what's going on in your world right around you. Same way trash, I've been cleaning up a lot lately because I moved, and I'm just trying to get sort things out and just have some order because had quite some chaos in my life because of all the things that I do, not because I'm just buying the stupid stuff that I don't need. A lot of crafts, a lot of materials and stuff like that. And so when you throw that away, I'm not throwing such things away. I'm throwing more things away that I actually really don't need. And as many as I can sell, I do, and some I donate. And the rest of it, unfortunately, has to go in the trash. And it's very excruciating for me to be throwing those things in the trash because it is the same problem, recycle bin. It's a recycle bin. It stays on Earth. It stays here in our reality. It doesn't get disposed of at all, I mean, some of the things get recycled. Some of the things get, used up for something else. And I mean, that's also a way of recycling. Some things get burnt, and gases are formed, and I don't know what they do with those gases as well. They make some stuff nowadays, fortunately, more than back in the days. But still, it doesn't go anywhere. It stays here. It's like you throw it away, but it's not really away. It's away from you, maybe away from your sight, but it doesn't really go away. The same way it's here, with movies, shows. Just TV, computers, phones, all these visual stimulation. You throw it away as soon as you watch it. You watch it, okay, cool, I've seen it, boom, gone, right? It's not gone, it's in you, right? And it takes a lot of years to, empty yourself and start paying less attention to that so that you can have more, more from life by actually hearing yourself. And hearing that self means hearing the collective speaking to that piece that is you. You as in this physical or like non-physical, like, personal form, as this little tiny person, ego, whatever you want to call it, from the grand ego to the macro, to the micro, from the macro ego to the micro ego. Ideas, are passed down. The more you are becoming one, the more the micro person becomes, one with the macro person, the more it starts aligning, and the more of everything that other micro persons, other micro me's or yous are experiencing, the more of that I get access to. So that's how that goes. Sometimes you get an idea and you think like, oh wow, that idea is mine. Not really. And yes, if you're looking at it from the absolute point of view, that everything is you, then yes, then that idea is yours. However, if you're looking at it from a micro ego or micro person or micro me or micro you perspective, then that idea is not yours. Then that idea came from somebody who experienced something and said, oh, I see how this works. And then clink, and it comes to you. And it comes to everybody, not only to you, it comes to everybody who is at that moment more aligned with the macro or the big, grand self. The collective. So that's how these things work. So yes, when we are being entertained and we are purposefully seeking this entertainment all day long, we are not given space to be aligned and to hear the macro self speaking. Because that one remembers things that you would think are impossible for John or George or Karen or I don't know who, or Daniel, to remember. These things you would think, no, that person cannot remember that thing. They were not alive at that time. That must have happened a long time ago. There is no way that memory could be present within this person that was born, I don't know, like 30 years ago. But it is possible. It's possible that those memories are present, much more possible in a 2-year-old, except that they don't know how to express it. Because they also don't know that that's anything unusual. So those memories to them, are just memories, and they don't know that we don't have them. They don't know that we don't have the access, that most people don't have the access to them until they start growing up. But then because they forget them, because they're burdened, us, the adult selves, we burden them with all sorts of other nonsense that we go through, they forget them. So they, most of the time, grow up, don't even know they had them. And they don't find anything extra until somebody says, hey, I know, I have a sense, I remember, I have this knowing that this and this happened, and it must have been a lot of years ago, like, I don't know, thousands of years ago, this and this happened. And they go like, you're crazy, like, what is this guy talking about? Is he on drugs or something? You see? But, when they were little, they probably remember that. It's just so out of sight and out of mind that either it's not important anymore, or it just becomes something that it's impossible to remember, or impossible that anybody else could remember that. So my thing here is stop filling yourself up with all this junk, and or if you do, be responsible about it. Be more methodical. Why are you watching something? What are you getting out of it? Extract that information and work with it, and then leave the rest out of it. But don't run away from those antique memories, no matter how painful they may be, because we obviously have gone through some really challenging times. And if you think that this is challenging right now, just wait for what's coming, because you know, it already happened. And it will happen. And it keeps happening. Until we find the key to that puzzle. And then maybe, possibly we can be more successful so that stops happening. You know. But until then, yes, until then, stay in peace. Stay in peace and, think about things you watch. Think about things, these things, where do they go? Do they really just go away and you forget about them or not? Or they create your subconscious ideas that then drive you through life and instill certain appetites to you that you otherwise wouldn't even have. And then you follow those appetites and you completely go astray from the path that you're supposed to be on. And I'm not saying that, you're going to be punished for it. Maybe you'll punish yourself with circumstances you're creating for yourself with that, going astray, going out of your path. But what I mean is when you stay on your path, your life becomes something different. Your life becomes something extremely, extremely powerful and extremely meaningful. Not just some, time to kill. Time to kill. What can you give me so I can, be entertained? I'm so bored. People do all sorts of stupid things out of being bored. Sometimes those things are more innocent. Sometimes they're extremely, extremely insane and crazy. And also cruel. Because people are just so damn bored. Because why? Because they don't have anything to work with except for the entertainment filling up their brain. And so when you have only that, you are what they say, a shallow person. You see? A shallow person means the person is so filled up that they have so little space to add anything in that they just don't get it. Now, a deep person is a person who can think, a person who can come up with really, really amazing stuff. It's because they keep space inside of themselves and they empty it and they recycle things as they go. They don't just live life by some chance and then just go along with everything. Those people who are more deep people, deep thinkers, people who isolate themselves for the purposes of getting closer to, their within, that, those people have so much space that they're able to work with this stuff and they extract and they work with these things very methodical. They're very organized when it comes to their thoughts. They're very organized when it comes to their actions. Not saying they're never spontaneous. Of course they are. But they know what they're doing. They're aware of what they're doing. Even when they're doing something that it's not supposed to be done by them, they know that very quickly. And that's how they're being led through life on the path that is for them. Not for somebody else, but for them only. Now, in the meanwhile, there's a whole lot of entertained minds, entertained brains walking around, crossing each other's path like this. Because they don't know where they're supposed to be. So they're just colliding with each other all day long. And they don't get to do anything at all. Nothing actual, nothing powerful that contributes to our, creation and co-creation. So that's the problem here. And that's why they are what I would call them living dead. Zombies. They walk around and have absolutely no idea why they're here, what the hell they're doing. They just don't know. So for such people, when you, even government comes up with rules and all sorts of stuff, they follow because they don't have anything, they don't have anything to question things with. Nothing. They have no depth. They just go, okay, yeah, yeah, They're clones. They're robots. Those are like, clone holograms. Cloned. Copy paste. That's it. Alright guys. It was much longer than I intended to be. Anyways. See you later. Talk to you later.